Well, I came here from New Bedford in 1926. I think it's so funny that I came from the city, married this man with 3 children, but he was handsome, my husband. He was a very, very good-looking man. He had a boat and he had a house. My mother says, look, Maxie, if you don't marry that fellow, you're a fool, because he has a home. Of course, he's a widow, but never mind. He's a woman, you have a nice home, all paid for, and a boat. And she says, you'll have a new life. I says, well, if I like the man, all right, I'll marry him, but if I don't like him, I won't, Mom. But when I came here, after we came for our honeymoon, as soon as we landed here, he had to go down and see his boat. Miramar, that was the first thing he did. And I had never been in the house I was going to live in. He had 3 children, 3 little boys, so the boys were there waiting, and I says, now boys, I'm going to go down with your father. And he says, the women don't go down the waterfront. I said, well, that's funny. I think I'd like to go down to the boat. And I says, Daddy, I'm going to go down. He says, no, Max, I have to go. My boat is out on the stake. It's not up near the shanties. Well, that was all new to me. But I went down with him anyhow. I thought, this is the first time I've got to get my waist in somehow, because he was born on the other side, you know, the old country, and he had a lot of his old country ideas. You can't get rid of them, no more than I could get rid of my American-born ones. So we went down to the waterfront. Well, there was a row of shanties in through there. There were about 8 little boat houses, and they used to tie their boats all up and through there. It was the prettiest sight, and we got down. It was about 5 o'clock in the evening in October. The sun was setting. You could see Chappaquiddick with all the golden lights, you know. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen, that water. I love the water. And he said, you can't go with me. I have to go in the rowboat. I said, I don't care for the rowboat. I'll wait here for you. And he says, that's an awful thing for you. You don't know. I don't like this. I says, well, I'm having fun. So he gets into his rowboat, and he had to go up to a stake, which was way up near Tower Hill. That's where he anchored his boat. So he went off, and I stood there, and then Mr. Terra came, and Mr. Terra was an old captain. And within 1 hour, I met 5 Manuels down there, the same night that I first came here. Mr. Terra I knew, Captain Manuel Terra. And he had the deepest blue eyes, big white mustache, and his skin was all tanned from the one. He looked a typical seaman, you know. So he came over and he stayed talking to me. And then along came another Manuel. And they stood there, and he says, hi, Manuel. And Mr. Terra says, hi, Little Neck. That was his nickname. I says, is that his name, Little Neck? No, everybody calls him Little Neck. He's Manuel. I can't even think of his last name, Mr. Terra said. We all call him Little Neck. Well, I says, that's fine. Well, there were 2 Manuels, and mine was 3. And pretty soon another one comes slouching around from Water Street onto this little pier there, like in front of all their shanties. Of course, they saw me there. It was quite surprising. Is that Manuel's wife? And they said, yep, that's the new bride. And he came, and so Mr. Santos, hi, Rabon. And Rabon says, hi, man. That was his nickname. He was Manuel Berry. But there were so many Manuels. Each one had a nickname. And that was 4. Wasn't that 3, 4? Yeah, that was 4. And so they all came over and shook hands. And it was my first meeting, first day that I was here in Edgartown. Well, when my husband came, there was his wife, his new bride, surrounded with 4 men. That was funny, wasn't it? And on our way down street, we passed my other houses right in back of Manuel Roberts, Manuel Suarez, we always call him Manuel Suarez. And when we walked down street to the boat, he comes out of his house with his hands like this on his suspenders. And he says, hey, Manuel, is this the new woman? He says, yep, this is the new lady. And so he said, oh, wait a minute. And he hollers to his wife, Louisa, come out and see Manuel's new wife. So poor Louisa came out. He was definitely Portuguese, but Louisa wasn't. She was, I think, of Scotch ancestry. Poor woman came out all shy with an apron. And she said, oh, I'm so glad to know you. I said, well, I am too. I'm going to be right in your backyard. Do come over and see me, because I don't know anybody here. I'll do that. She says, I'll be over tomorrow with a cake. And she came over with a cake the next day. So that was 6 Manuels. After we parted, when Manuel came and said, you satisfied? I said, oh, I've had a lovely time. I've met so many Manuels. So when we have our first child, it's going to be Manuel. Over my dead body, there's not going to be another Manuel in this town. Every other person is Manuel. That's enough. Enough is enough. And then we came up Main Street, We got to the corner of the bank, another Manuel come, Manuel Delora. I says, Manuel, for goodness sakes, you are right. Every other person is a Manuel. But after all, they are Portuguese. So we met, and one day I think I met 7 or 8 Manuels that first day. But I had a wonderful sight of the waterfront. So when we got home, he said, now you don't go down there alone. You didn't see any woman down there, did you? I said, I saw one girl with a bag. Well, she was waiting for the fishermen.